Hello everyone. Today, me and Jordan will talk about the employee traps. I'll start it right now. First, I want to say that the employee is devil. They pay you just enough to forget your dreams. That is not a conspiracy theory. It is literally written into the US tax code.
Wait, the tax code? I thought you were going to start with the inflation argument.
Inflation is just the distraction. The real issue is the salary itself. Nassim Taleb said the three most harmful addictions are heroin, carbohydrates, and a monthly salary.
Calling a salary an addiction sounds incredibly harsh. Most people are just trying to survive.
Of course they are, but look at the biology of it. When that direct deposit hits on the 15th and the 30th, what happens in your nervous system?
Dopamine. Pure relief.
Exactly. Relief. It tells your brain you are safe, you have food, you do not need to hunt. Over time, this predictability creates severe dependency. You start organizing your entire existence around that drip.
You buy a house that requires the drip. You lease a car that requires the drip.
And you become terrified of the silence between checks. That is exactly how drug addiction works. The dealer gives you just enough to keep you coming back, but never enough to actually set you free.
But what is the alternative? Everyone I know wakes up, drives to a building, sits there for 8 to 10 hours, and trades their time for a paycheck. It is normal.
It is normal in the middle class. In the world of the ultra-wealthy, this behavior is considered financial insanity.
Understanding. Because of the finite inventory.
Yes! Imagine you own a store, Jordan, but you only have 24 items on the shelf every single day. Once you sell those 24 items, your shelves are empty. You cannot sell any more.
No matter how high the demand is.
Right. No matter how hard you work, your income has a hard, physical ceiling. That is your life as an employee. You are selling the only asset you cannot buy back.
But what about high earners? A specialized surgeon, a corporate lawyer charging $1,000 an hour. They are wealthy.
They are highly paid laborers. They are still playing a linear game. If the surgeon breaks his wrist tomorrow, what happens to his income?
It hits zero instantly.
The machine turns off. The moment they stop moving, they start dying financially. They might have a nicer cage than the rest of us, but they are still in the cage.
So if it is a trap, why are we all so blindly walking into it? We have degrees. We are not stupid.
Because we were trained for it. Think about the industrial conveyor belt we call the education system. What did they actually train you to do?
Sit still. Memorize instructions.
Raise your hand to ask permission to go to the bathroom. Fear failure. Complete tasks given by a superior authority. The school system was designed in the Prussian era for one specific purpose: to produce compliant soldiers and factory workers.
Realization. It was never designed to produce capitalists.
Never. It does not teach you how to read a balance sheet or how to identify a competitive advantage or how to build a system that operates without your physical presence. It teaches you to be a replaceable part in a machine someone else owns.
I was driving down I-35 here in Austin the other day, looking at all those massive glass office buildings. And it hit me. Thousands of people sitting in traffic, entirely dependent on a system that could discard them tomorrow.
And we see it happen every recession. A guy spends 30 years being a loyal employee. Suddenly, technology shifts. He is 55 years old, let go, and all he has is a resume that says he is good at taking orders.
And suddenly, nobody wants to give him orders anymore.
That is the ultimate tragedy. It works until it does not. Now, let us go back to the tax code. You said that was a conspiracy.
I just meant it sounds crazy that the government intentionally punishes workers.
It is not punishment. It is math. The government wants you to be an investor. If you earn a salary, you pay the highest possible tax rate. Income tax, payroll tax, social security. Before the money even hits your bank account, 30 to 40% is just gone.
And if you were an owner,
Capital gains and dividends. I sit in a chair, allocate capital, take risks, and the government taxes me at sometimes half the rate a worker pays. Warren Buffett famously admitted his secretary pays a higher effective tax rate than he does.
people were furious about that.
Because they thought he was bragging. He was not bragging. He was confessing. He was telling everyone the rules of the game. If you sell time, you are penalized. If you risk capital, you are subsidized.
Connecting the dots. Because the economy needs capital to grow. It needs factories and innovation, not just people sitting safely at a desk.
Exactly. The system rewards risk. But there is a silent killer that is even worse than taxes. The inflation lag.
Realizing sticky wages.
Yes, it is an economic principle. When the government prints money, prices go up. But asset prices, stocks, real estate, go up first. The wealthy get richer overnight.
And then bread gets expensive. Gas gets expensive.
And what goes up last? Your paycheck. Your boss does not wake up and say, "Inflation is at 8%. Let me give everyone a massive raise today." They wait a year or two.
Defeated. So by the time you get a pathetic 3% raise, you have already lost a massive chunk of your purchasing power.
You are running a marathon, where the finish line is accelerating away from you faster than you can run. Selling time is mathematically a losing game.
So why do intelligent people stay? I know guys from Ivy League schools fighting tooth and nail for these corporate roles.
Because corporations are geniuses at psychological manipulation. They cannot pay you what you are actually worth, so they pay you in status.
The titles.
SED slightly. Vice President. Senior Director. These titles cost the company absolutely $0, but they mean everything to a fragile ego. You put it on LinkedIn, you hand out business cards, it makes you feel important.
But it is a liability.
It is a golden handcuff. I have seen brilliant individuals stay in miserable jobs simply because they were terrified of losing the title of director. They valued the applause of strangers more than their own financial freedom.
And then there is the busy badge of honor. You ask anyone how they are doing and they say, "Oh, I am so swamped. I am slammed."
They say it with pride, like exhaustion is a virtue. In the world of wealth, being constantly busy is not a sign of success. It is a sign of mental laziness.
Wait, being busy means you are lazy?
Yes, because you are avoiding the hard work of thinking. The employee mindset believes activity equals productivity. Sweating equals working. But if you spend your entire life chopping wood, you are too busy to invent the chainsaw.
Wow, that makes sense. They fill their calendars with meaningless meetings so they do not have to face the terrifying reality of their future.
Ragazzo-oriented. It is the hamster wheel. So, how do we escape? We have to install the owner's operating system.
Which starts with equity.
You will never get rich renting out your time. You must own a piece of a business. Every single dollar in your pocket is a soldier.
I love this analogy.
You can send that soldier to the bar to buy a drink, and he dies. He is gone. Or you can recruit him into your army. You invest him. Now he goes out while you sleep and captures more dollars.
And those new dollars capture even more.
Exponential growth. Most people murder their soldiers by buying liabilities. Owners let their soldiers conquer. But you do not even need to start a massive company today. We live in a miracle era.
Zero marginal cost leverage.
Yes, for thousands of years, leverage meant hiring expensive labor or borrowing risky capital. Now, code and media. You write a piece of software once, it costs you time, but you can sell it 1,000,000 times for zero extra cost.
Or a podcast like this. We record it once, and 1,000,000 people can listen to it while we are sleeping.
It is the new oil. You do not need permission. You do not need a bank loan. You just need a laptop and a brain. If you are still selling time hourly, you are fighting a nuclear war with a wooden stick.
But for the person listening right now, who has a mortgage, who has kids, they cannot just walk into their boss's office tomorrow and quit.
And they shouldn't. Quitting in a fit of emotional rage is foolish. You do not burn the bridge while you are still standing on it.
So what is the pragmatic step?
Strategic. You become a Saturday morning CEO. Your current job is simply your first investor. It provides the cash flow to fund your escape. The problem is how you spend your time off.
Most people spend the weekend recovering, binge-watching shows, having a few drinks to numb the stress.
They are just recharging their batteries so they can be exploited again on Monday. The owner uses the weekend to build the exit. Friday night to Sunday night, you are the CEO of your life. You write the code, you start the side business, you study the markets.
Understanding. Until your part-time income exceeds your living expenses.
Escape velocity. The moment you hit that, your boss no longer owns you. You walk into the office with a completely different aura. You are not there out of desperation, you are there by choice.
But right when you get close, they offer you the promotion.
The promotion trap. The final test. They offer you a slightly bigger office, a bit more money, a fancier title. You must be ruthless and say no.
Saying no to more money?
Because it demands more of your mental energy. It tightens the handcuffs. They are paying you just enough to stop you from becoming completely free. Do not be afraid to be a mediocre employee, so you can become an exceptional owner.
That goes against everything we are taught. We are taught to climb the ladder.
People climb the corporate ladder for decades, only to realize at the very top that the ladder was leaning against the wrong wall.
The rocking chair test.
Exactly. Imagine you are 90 years old. You are sitting on a porch. You can no longer work. You look back. Will you truly regret missing out on becoming a senior vice president?
No one regrets that on their deathbed.
But you will absolutely regret spending 40 years building someone else's dream while yours gathered dust in a drawer. Time is the only thing you cannot buy. The door to the cage has always been open.
You just have to be brave enough to walk out.
Exactly.